Okay, folks, in this video, I'm going to prove to you that 2022 is the year that these two predictions that I have been telling you about for a long time now are going to finally happen. 2022 is the year. And like I've said many times, that this year is 2022, so you got the 222. Washington's birthday is celebrated on 222, and Washington died 222 years ago. And the reason that Washington is so important is because they consider him to be the father of our country. Okay? And that's why they, depict Washington as like the Baphomet. Like I said, he plays a big part in this charade. And like I said, this year is the year 2022, which is the 222 number, right? And we're going to focus on the year, okay? And 1946 is when Donald Trump was born. And if you put 1946 into the gematria calculator, into my calculator, look what you get. Okay, you get the 222, which is the most important number. Okay, it's the very first number, 222. Now, but what I want you to look at is what the second number is here, 87. This is the year Elvis turned 87. And also, it's got the 84 in the back. And I told you Trump gets his head wound on 8/4, 2022. And it's the 222. And let me tell you something. There's only 2 years in all of the 1900s that have the 222 at the top. And that is 1946 and 1998. Okay? That's the only 2 years that have the 222. And like I said, that Trump's going to get his head wound on August 4th, Obama's birthday. So obviously Obama plays a part in this charade. So let's see what number day of the year August 4th is. So August 4th is the 216th day of the year, okay? So the 216 is important and the 222. So the reason I'm showing you 1983, and I'll show you why in a moment and how it connects to Trump, because 1983 is the only year in the 1900s, in the years 1900s, 1983 is the only one that equals 216. And 1983 is the year Trump became 37 years old, which is the EL number. I told you EL means God. And the 3 and the 7 look like the letters EL if you turned them upside down. The numbers 37 or 73 looks like the letters EL. Okay, and look at that. It's also 444 months exactly. That's why it's so important. All right, the 37. And he turned 37 years old in 1983. And that's the year, 1983, that's equals 216. And 216th day of the year is August 4th. You understand? And 1946 is the only other, there's only 2 years that equal 222, and there's 1946 and 1998. And now I'm going to show you the 1998 connection. So remember, I told you Obama was born on August 4th, 1961. And if you go to 1998 on his birthday, he turns 37 years old, again with the EL number. Do you understand? So what's the chance that the two people besides Elvis that I talk about is Trump and Obama? And from Obama's birthday, which is the 216th day of the year, to 1998, he turns 37, and 1998 is the 222 year. And the only other 222 year is 1946. And from 1946 to 1983, and 83 was the only 216 year. out of all the 1900s, and 1946 was the 222. So what I'm trying to say is that everything's connected to the 222 year and the 216. And remember, August 4th is the 216th day of the year. So let me make it a little more simpler for you to follow. Trump was born in 1946. 1946 equals 222 in the gematria calculator. 1983 equals 216. And that's the year Trump turns 37. And the 37 looks like the EL. EL means God. And remember, the 216th day of the year is August 4th, Obama's birthday, the day Trump gets his head wound. So you see the connections, what I'm talking about? Now, Obama was born in 1961, and 1961 has no interesting numbers, but he's born on 8/4, which is the 216th day of the year. So there's the 216. Now, in 1998, which is the only other 222 year besides 1946. You see, 1946 is the only other 222 year, and that's when Trump was born. And 1998 is the next one, and that's the year Obama turns 37. Okay, so there's the 216 because of Obama's birthday, the year he was born, and the date was August 4th, so that's the 216th day. And here's the 222. Obama turns 37 in 1998. The only other year besides 1946 that has the 222. Okay? Do you get that? Everything's about the 222 and the 216. And do you think it's a coincidence that Obama, who was president in 2016, went up against Donald Trump in that same year, and Trump beat him, and he won the presidency, Trump, in 2016. So they share that because he won in 2016, Trump, and Obama, was still the president. You understand what I'm saying? So in 2016, there's your 216 number with a crown, because the 0 is a crown, 2016. And that's why Trump, he won the Person of the Year in 2016. I mean, can you believe this? You see what I'm saying? It's the 216 number. And the very day that Trump became president, January 20th, 2017, is the inauguration. You know what I mean? He became president that day. Look what happened to Trump. He became 70 years, 7 months, 7 days old. 777, right? And remember, it's in 2017. And remember, 1946 is the 220, it equals 222, right? That number, 1946, equals 222. 2017 is the day he became president. And if you put 2017 into the gematria calculator, it equals 216. You see? Again with the 216, because the 216th day of the year is August 4th. You understand? That's the day Trump gets his head wound. And the year that Trump became president for the first time, for the first year, it equaled 216. Do you see? And do you remember this explosion? And this was the biggest explosion we've ever seen that happened, in our lifetime, that we actually were able to, see the actual explosion. And it happened in Beirut. It was in 2020. And it happened in Beirut. And I was born in Beirut, Lebanon. And it just so happens this Beirut, Lebanon explosion happened on August 4th, 2020, like I said. And they're saying at 8 a.m. Pacific, whatever time. Anyway, the point is, it happened on the 216th day of the year, which is Obama's birthday, August 4th, 22. Do you see that? That is why it's 8422. because Trump's going to get his head wound on August 4th, 22. And also, it was predictive programming for what's going to happen near this, in Seattle, which is right near the water, right? Just like this explosion was in Beirut. And just to go off topic a little bit, if you look at the days from Trump's birthday to August 4th, 2020, from the day he was born, look at that. Look at these numbers, 27081. If you said that backwards, it would be 1872. Elvis's birthday on 1872, that's the day he turned 37 years old. And these numbers are significant too, the 74, 122, but I'm not going to get into that here. So now watch this calculation that I'm about to show. So from the day that Trump became president on January 20th, 2017, he became president, and that's the day he turned 70 years old, 7 months, 7 days, the 777 jackpot number. And from that day, the day he became president, to the day he's going to get his head wound, okay, up to that day, not actually counting that day, but, what's in between. Watch this. Remember, it's up to the day he's going to get shot, 2022. Oh, I said the word shot. I'm not sure what's going to happen to him, but somehow he gets a head wound. Look at this number. So from the day he was president, January 2017, to August 4th, 2022, the day he's going to get his head wound, it's 2022 days, the 2022. Do you see? You see what I'm talking about? And it's 2022, the year, right? 2017 was the first year in the 20 numbers, as far as being 216. Because the only one in the 1900s was the 1983. I told you how important that one was. That was 216. And 2017 is the first one in the 20s, who equals 216. And the 216 is there. 216 is August 4th, 216th day of the year, 2022 and 2022. And look at this. 66 months and 15 days. The 1 plus 5 is 6. So it'd be 666. And 66 months equals the word twin, 66. Twin equals 66. See, the word twin equals 66, right? Now watch this. You see this bottom? These are the totals. This is the forward number, this is the backward number. You see this? 8766. So that means that's twin, right? 8766. Remember that, because Elvis turns 87. He's 87 this year. Okay? And I just showed you the 66 number associated with Trump and his head wound right now. Anyway, just remember the number 8766 means twin. Now watch this. I think this is going to be the last equation I show you. Pay attention carefully. So in 1998, on August 4th, 1998, Obama turns 37 years old. 8/4 is the 216th day of the year. 1998 is the only other year besides the year that Trump was born that equals 222. So 1998 equals 222. It's the year that Obama became 37, which is the EL number, and 8/4 is the 216th day of the year. Now, from that day in 1998 to the year and date that Trump gets his head wound, let me show you the equation. Or should I say the answer to the equation? Look, 8766, 8,766 days. You see? That's the twin number. I just showed you. Twin equaled 8766. And I told you Elvis turned 87 years old. And then you have the twin, the 66. Oh, I have one more thing to show you. It's not going to take long. So from remember, Elvis in 1972 turned 37, which is the EL number. And I told you that Richard Nixon was the 37th president, and that's the only president Elvis visited. And Nixon was president during 1972. And that's, like I said, Elvis visited him. So, and Nixon was the 37th president. I know I'm repeating myself, but I don't know if you're getting what I'm saying. Anyway, so Elvis turned 37 and he was the EL number, right? In 1972. From 1972 to 2017 is 45 years. And Trump became the 45th president. You see? 45 years from that date. And he became the 45th president. Now look at this. Elvis dies in 1977 at the age of 42 years old. And I told you he's going to come back in 2022, this year, which would be 45 years later. Because he's 87 now. 42 plus 45 equals 87. You see? Another 45 again. And same year that Trump's going to get his head wound. The 45th president. And I'm just going to end it here. I have so much more to show, folks. And in the next video, I'll show how Elvis is going to come back now. So this was basically all about Trump. Now I'm going to show you the next one. The next video will be about Elvis. And make sure you never forget about these numbers, okay? It's all about the 222. Okay, folks, just remember my two predictions. Trump gets his head wound on August 4th, most likely in Ohio. August 4th is Obama's birthday. Trump gets a head wound and he survives. And the other prediction is Elvis somehow manifests his name, his image, or the number of his name after a spectacular event in Seattle, all right, on June 11th. Those are the two predictions. Anyway, like I said, the next video will be about Elvis and his connections to 2022. All right, folks. End of video.